Ready? Okay, so welcome. This is EN222, Sexuality and Sin in Global Lit. I'm Ann Summers. I'm a lecturer in the English department at Norwich, and this is, the first day of our 8-week summer class together. So I am excited to get to know you all. I'm excited to hear your ideas and read your work. As you'll know from the title of the course, but also from the syllabus, our course is going to be focusing on text from a global tradition, so really outside a European framework. We'll be jumping around the globe in terms of the geography of our writers. We'll be focusing on topics like gender, sexuality, how those two dovetail with larger questions about religion, spirituality. But also, as a global lit course, we will be asking questions about the way that cultural context shapes literature, the way it shapes how we read, the way it shapes how writers write, and what happens when different cultural influences clash together. Okay, so for today, I'm just going to take you briefly through the major things that you need to know about the class and the way that the Noodle page will be organized from this point on. So the very first thing that you want to do for today, so this is Monday, June 29th, our first class, is read the syllabus, right? So it is a bit lengthy because I wanted to make sure I gave you as much information as I could about the way the assignments are going to work, when you're going to be posting, what kind of posts I'm expecting, right? So that you can get the grade that you want for those posts, and also the larger expectations and aims of the class. So read through the syllabus really carefully, make sure that you're clear on all of those topics. If you have any questions, jump into this form right here, Instructor Office, and post any questions that you have. If there are questions that are unique and specific to you, then maybe you're going to email them to me. But if there are things that you think your classmates would benefit from hearing, you can post in the Instructor Office forum, and that's true now, and it's true through the rest of the semester. So that form will always be there for questions that you think everyone should hear about. Okay, I've also listed in this document here a breakdown of the readings from this point on, right? So things may change slightly, but they won't change in a ton of detail. I may add, I may take away. But our major texts are going to stay the same. So once you've read the syllabus, you'll know that we're going to be focusing on 3 major novels. So we have first Adichie's Purple Hibiscus, then we're going to do Garcia Marquez's Chronicle of a Death Foretold, and then finally Lahiri's The Namesake. So you are probably the easiest way of getting those books, if you don't have them already, is to get them from the bookstore website. You can also order them from Amazon or any online bookstore that you know about. If you are ordering paper copies, make sure that you do your best to get the same editions so that you have the same page numbers as me. If you're someone who's going to be doing e-text, right, just because you need the accessibility of them, or you want them to be available to you right now and you're already on your computer anyway for our online class, that's perfectly understandable. Just be aware that you may have to do some juggling with the page numbers because they won't always be the same. But still try to get the same edition if you can. Just get the Kindle version of the same edition, and then you should hopefully be in a good place with that issue. Okay, so if we're moving down, this is what a general unit is going to look like for the class. So each week is going to have 2 units. So for week 1, we have unit 1.1 and 1.2. For week 2, we'll have unit 2.1 and 2.2. You get it. So that's generally how it'll be organized. For our deadlines, and again, you'll see this in the syllabus, you're going to be posting discussion posts on Mondays and Thursdays of every week. Occasionally, you'll have larger assignments due at other points, but in general, your main days for the course are going to be Mondays and Thursdays. So make sure that you keep that in mind moving forward, that you want to organize your time around posting on those 2 days. The reason that I did it that way is I'm guessing a lot of you are working summer jobs, and I figured that if we're posting in the week as opposed to posting on, say, Saturday night or Sunday night, it may make you feel like you still have some kind of a weekend structure, right, to your life, right, that may help you in these strange quarantine times. So that was the rationale behind the Mondays and Thursdays, to kind of leave some of you guys still with a weekend if you are working, regular work hours during the week. Okay, so for today, after you've read the syllabus, if you don't have any questions, you're going to then take a look at these optional resources. One is for help with reading digitally. So if you're someone who struggles to retain information, to take notes, to annotate when you're reading on the computer, that's of course going to be difficult for our online class. So this is a really great, it's an Adobe Spark video or Adobe Spark presentation that the AAC at Norwich put together for you guys. So I would definitely check it out. It's super useful. And then finally, under our optional resources, I gave you some slides on close reading. So if you're someone who hasn't taken English in a while, and maybe you've struggled with the type of language that you use to analyze lit, or you don't really remember it, or you want to take yourself up to the next level, check out those slides. They will give you a preview of the types of language that I'll be using in the short video clips that I'll post as lectures, in the discussion boards. When I say close reading, essentially just what I mean is reading not just for plot and for content, but also to think about why the author wrote the text the way they did, right? So for example, for Thursday, we're going to read a text that is just one long conversation, right? It's not clearly a story, doesn't really have much of a plot. It's just a woman saying a bunch of stuff to her daughter. So you would ask the question, why did the writer write this the way that she did? What was the point? Those are the types of questions that we want to ask when we're close reading. Okay, so after that, you're going to jump into the introduction discussion forum. So this is the main activity that you have to do for Monday's class. Super easy. You're just going to be introducing yourself to the larger group. So follow the directions in there and post before midnight on Monday. And then finally, once you've read the syllabus, you'll know that we have one assignment. One of your major assignments is that you're going to have to be a discussion moderator throughout the semester. So you want to, at this point, sign up for the week in which you want to present. All you do for this, and there's very detailed directions in both this document here and in the syllabus, is you're going to be posing discussion questions and giving a short interpretation of the assigned text for that day. So sign up for the week that you want. Maybe you're going to sign up based on a text that you know that you like. Maybe you're going to sign up to get it over with because you know you're going to be busier later on. Maybe you want to save it to the end, right? You can choose however best works for you, but sign up for a date for your discussion moderator activity, and then you will be all set for today's class. Now, for Thursday, you are going to have 2 readings. So if you go in here, you'll see that we are going to be reading both Jamaica Kincaid's Girl, which is the text I was just referring to, and Chinua Achebe's Dead Man's Path. Both are pretty short. They're going to ease us in. They're going to introduce a lot of the themes that are going to come up in our first novel of the semester, Purple Hibiscus, which we will start for week 2. All right, so make sure that you read these for Thursday. You're then going to come back and I will post discussion questions and another short video for you guys to give us an entry point into discussing those 2 texts for our first real content-based discussion. Okay, so thank you all for listening. I will see you back here on Thursday. I will read through your posts in the introduction discussion forum to get to know you all a little bit more, and I'm looking forward to our first actual textual-based conversation about both Girl and Dead Man's Path for Thursday's class. All right, thanks guys.